calling case 2024-1357 DC, Andrew Katie versus Ella Gropp. Today is Monday, June 17, 2024 at 10:14 a.m.
Court will note the appearance of Ms. Redmond on behalf of the defendant. This matter comes before the court on the defendant's motion for temporary support, custody, parenting time. Ms. Redmond.
Good morning, Your Honor. I apologize for the confusion. I had a technical difficulty, and so I'm using Ms. Moss's computer.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. And again, good morning. Ms. Gropp and Mr. Katie have been separated since February of this year. Ms. Gropp currently has a PPO against Mr. Katie and is living in the home with the 3 children. Mr. Katie has not had overnight parenting time with the children since separation and has instead exercised non-overnight parenting time around 2 times per week. We are asking that this schedule continue, that she be awarded temporary sole physical and legal custody for the pendency of this action, that Mr. Katie be awarded parenting time on Fridays from 1 to 5 p.m., Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., to reflect the current schedule that the children have been used to since February separation, and that Mr. Katie's income be imputed to reflect the potential income of a computer programmer, which is his training and past experience in the area for at least part-time work. Ms. Gropp does have concerns about Mr. Katie having overnight parenting time, including the special medical needs of the children. Aurora, who's 11, has diabetes. Mr. Katie has in the past routinely slept through her blood sugar monitor, has returned Aurora from parenting time to Ms. Gropp with expired glucose sensors. He has also in the past refused to take Burko, who was only a few months old at the time, to the emergency room after that was recommended by a medical professional. He even threatened to crash the car that Ms. Gropp and Burko were in when she requested that he take them to the emergency room. Ms. Gropp had to wait until they returned home, and Mr. Katie fell asleep on the couch to be able to take Burko to his emergency room for care. And she is worried that that the children will have that Mr. Katie will not be able to make decisions in their best interests if he does have overnights, considering their medical needs. He's also been violent towards Ms. Gropp in the presence of the children, including threatening to break down the door of the children's bedrooms while the children were inside it. And she fears that he may be violent and aggressive towards the children if she is not there to intervene like she has in the past when they did live together. As well as that, his housing situation has been unstable. It is our understanding that he's moving into a new apartment. He has lived with his parents, again, to our understanding, living outside the home, not in the home. And again, Ms. Gropp believes his housing is unstable to support overnight parenting at this time. So for those reasons, she's asking for that specific parenting time, non-overnight, Fridays and Sundays, to reflect what the children are used to, what their routine is, as well as to protect them in their medical needs, their special medical needs, and for their safety.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Katie, what's your response?
Sorry, this is gonna take me a while. Okay, so to address some of this in order here that she just said it. First of all, it's what she said about the current schedule of me seeing the kids is omitting the fact that they expect me to have it 1 hour every day. Currently at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. But before I even say that, let me say I've said to Ella over and over that I'm available 24/7, and I've been trying everything I can to get more time with my kids, and I don't have enough time with them to provide anything like I could and I did in the past to them. And oh yeah, I'm sorry. I actually, before I address what she just said, what Ms. Redmond said,
just go ahead and address something, sir. I'm way behind on my hearings, and respond to the emotion.
Okay, no, but I have to explain that we are homeschooling parents, and and so the kids don't go to school. We educate them at home. So I gotta talk about that just a little bit and to explain, it's different from most parents. Yeah, and I'm sorry about, I'm trying to be quick here. It's very hard for me, but okay. So yeah, we are homeschooling parents, and I did in the past. I was able to have enough time with them where I could educate them, and I can't do that under this schedule, and they rely on, and Ella even relies on me and my help for the homeschooling, and has always. Okay, so but anyways, the current schedule is not as she said, and it also hasn't been going on. She said it's going to go on since February, but actually there was a period where we had a 50-50 sharing agreement, which is what I'd like to ask for as a temporary schedule. But that 50-50 agreement wasn't overnight, but it was supposed to be 50-50 trading days. And it worked a lot better for our family. And the kids don't want to keep the current schedule. They are really excited about staying overnight with me. They've said it again, especially my younger daughter, and even my son Burko is not speaking, but too young. But I mean, I can you can read his facial expressions. He's well, okay. Anyways, so even what she said about the current schedule is not true. It's very important to have that hour together with those kids. At one point, we were taking daily walks for that hour, but Ella wouldn't let that happen. And so the best we could do was a 1 hour virtual meeting. But I've actually spent a lot more time in that hour because I've been able to she's also been relying on my mother for babysitting, and during a lot of the time when she's relying on my mother for babysitting, I also spend time with the kids. So she's vastly understating the amount of time that the kids have with me, and the fact that they expect and hope for more, and so do I. And I've always been, and my two daughters and myself have all been pushing to get more time. That's why we even have that much time in the first place. Giselle has been resisting that. Okay, so then I want to talk. The next thing, I think that handles the first thing she said. The next thing she was talking about is the medical concerns, and if I could, I know I have to be brief here, but if I could go into detail, I mean, it would sound really. I think her claims would sound really silly, but I'm going to try to explain. Well, one thing is that as far as like decision making, I mean, we have a whole. I mean, okay, so actually, let me talk about the overnight sleeping through the alarms. Okay, so both of us would sleep through alarms until one of us got up to get the alarm, and she would usually get it, but that's But let me tell you, as a programmer, I wrote a program to plug the alert system into that would provide a second alert system using the stereo speakers, and it would blast the audio enough to wake up everybody in the house. And I mean, that's how serious I was taking this. When we were together, and that system, we stopped using it because Rory was getting up herself with the alarm system. But so we haven't had that system in use, but I built that system and I take it very seriously, treating Rory's diabetes. And I took it I learned a lot about endocrinology, and so there's a story that I want to tell. The first night, that we were in the hospital with Rory when she had ketoacidosis, so she had to go to the ICU, pediatric ICU, and I didn't know about type 1 diabetes, and I mean, Ella actually, to her credit, she diagnosed type 1 diabetes, and I didn't believe her, and not only that, the urgent care didn't believe her, and it turned out that she was right, and but anyways, we ended up in the ICU, and I just spent all night studying endocrinology, and I told Ella that we should go on a low carb diet. The whole family, not that the whole family needs it, but for Rory's blood sugar control, and otherwise. Well, anyways, I was reading all about that. Then we talked to the doctor. The doctor recommended against
Sir, if
that.
you would confine yourself to the issues of custody and parenting time and support. You're getting off on a lot of tangents. And
I'm sorry.
unfortunately, I don't have time for that today.
I'm sorry. Well, if I could just finish the story, the doctor recommended a diet. We tried it for a year. Then we tried what I recommended, and it worked. And the doctor said, you can't argue with the results. And, I'm just saying, I'm taking medical decisions for Rory very seriously. I take her type 1 diabetes very seriously. I put a lot of effort into that. Okay. So the next thing she said, she said I refused to take Burko to the hospital, but I drove him all the way to the hospital, and I turned around because she didn't have her phone. And, I felt like we needed that phone. I went back to get the phone, and I was too tired to drive. And she got a ride from my mom. It was okay. But she's just telling the story with all these facts omitted. She's made claims, allegations that are going to fall apart if we can examine them in enough detail. And I know we can't today. But I mean, they will. I have a lot of evidence I've collected of our recordings of our conversations that will. But okay, so there's that. I think okay. So another thing about the fact that we're homeschooling is that we don't have any kind of schedule, and we're not just homeschooling. We don't have regular jobs. We don't have any kind of schedule conflicts to work around. There's no reason to limit my time to the weekend. But Ella's doing that. Ella has insisted that it has to be Friday night and Saturday morning. So the other thing about the established, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this before, is that she says that what the kids are used to is 4 hours per day, but that's not true. What they're used to and what they expect and ask for, they don't even have to ask for it. They expect it. And Ella has initially resisted, but now she no longer even resists this to the kids, is that they stay until bedtime with me. And then I send it back. And even then, my younger daughter, she always asks to stay overnight. She doesn't want to go back for, bedtime to mom. Not that she doesn't want to sleep there, but she hasn't had enough time with me. They know that they lost their dad almost, that it's been reduced to these video meetings 1 hour per day that are not as satisfactory as in-person time. There's no more education provided by me. And I go into detail later, I guess, but I've been driving the educational planning and the education for the family, even.
Sir, you need to conclude, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah. And also I have a great place for them that they really love. They really want to spend time there. They really want to spend, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here on the table here. Okay. See if there's anything else I can throw in here. So another thing is that we had a lot of standards that were kept for our kids that have declined in the household without my help. And Ella herself would benefit hugely if I could have the kids more, and she had more time to herself, to clean the house and to, do
Okay,
whatever.
I'm not concerned about any time she has for herself. Just address custody.
Well, it would be good for our kids,
please.
Because the house, Ella has. All right, so yeah, to be able to take care of herself, it would be better for the kids if she had more time, to keep the house up, which is not being done.
Please conclude, sir.
All right. Sorry. So yeah, what I was trying to say there is that Ella by herself is forced to lower the standards that we had previously established on diet, education, paying attention to the kids, attention given to the kids, and language practice for my young son who's just learning language. Also, I didn't address. She's talking about imputing income for a programmer, and I'm not trying to avoid making income. I'm doing a lot, to try to make income, not by getting a job though, because the market for labor here really isn't available to me. So, but I have, you know, I have an independent research career that's been not financially successful, but it has, you know, resume
Okay,
points.
thank you, sir. I don't need to
Okay.
hear anything else. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
The court's going to, in this matter, court's heard the, again, the evidence, or at least the allegations in this particular matter, read the pleadings. In this case, what the court is going to do is the court will grant to the defendant temporary custody, subject to parenting time with the plaintiff. Court notes, based on the party schedules, they haven't had anything consistent. They don't work consistent jobs. What the court's going to do is grant to the plaintiff parenting time on alternating days from 12 o'clock noon until 4 o'clock p.m. each alternating day, starting on June 20, 2024, and each alternating day thereafter. The court will order that the parties would exchange any income information that they have within 7 days of today's date. Again, if we don't have any income, or if it's sporadic, the court will impute to each party the sum of $15 per hour on a full-time basis. The court would order that the parties would communicate through a communication app such as Our Family Wizard or Family Close or any of the other apps that the parties can agree upon. If not, then they'll use Our Family Wizard. And I'll ask Ms. Redmond that you would prepare that order and submit under 7-day notice of entry.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.